Hey, what's going on? So I was just looking through my little article source and I came across some very disturbing articles. And it just puts me in a mind frame of what kind of people you deal with when you associate yourself with foolish and lost people. Now, here's an article where it says a mother 30, she jumped off the 11th floor of an apartment after throwing her 1-year-old son out the window and killing another child and stabbing her grandfather in the face. Now, while we the details and the motive of all this may be unknown, this person is very lost and very wicked. And these are the kind of people that some people are blindly and foolishly engaging in relationships with, and it just goes to show you the value of a God-fearing person, wisdom, people who have good values and structure in their life to handle their emotions or to deny them, because this is strictly an emotional mess. And these kind of situations are growing. I'm looking at articles every day just to see what's going on in this world. And this kind of news is actually growing. And so I just want people to be aware. The cost of dealing with a fool is too high a price. Now, there's another article here where it says 18-year-old arrested, charged with murder in brutal Christmas Eve beating that robbed victim of $1. Now, this is crazy because, the guy that they robbed, he was 60 years old, minding his business, and they killed him over $1 while he was with his wife. And it's just sad that the world is growing into evil this fast. But what else can it do when it's been stripped of common sense, when good values are now considered hate speech? What else do we expect from a world like this but more evil and criminality and chaos? And so people just need to be wise and aware of what they're really dealing with when they engage and have communication with lost people. And yet I have another article. This one says a mom allegedly assaulted after turning off her daughter's phone. Now, I would warn parents to be cautious of feeding your children into the world and letting the world and the culture attach to them so strongly that you can't even instill discipline and order in your own household. And this is insane. I mean, there are many instances where the children killed their parents. I remember I read an article a long time ago of it was a child killed his parents and threw a party with their dead bodies in the closet. This is what happens when you spoil your kids. See, we don't have to spoil our kids because providing a roof in over their heads, clothes on their backs, you know, food in their stomachs is a sufficient act of love. The rest has to be on a merit-based reward and discipline system. Instilling the values of God into your children is sufficient. We don't need to add to it and we don't need to take away from it. So now I'm gonna read a few proverbs that I have, and they were interesting to me. So I'm just gonna take a second to read these. It says Proverbs 18:2. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. See, that's why you have to avoid communication with dumb people, because they don't care about what makes sense. They just care about their feelings. Proverbs 29:11. A fool gives full vent to his spirit, but a wise man quietly holds it back. Now, full vent to his spirit, well, that could be murder, assault, um, just going berserk. You know, there are structures and there are values in place to contain our emotions. Proverbs 12:16. The vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Vexation is strife. People are so reactive in this world until it's immediately known when people are emotional. But the prudent can ignore the insult of a fool because they see that that person is lost. They can't help themselves. To be in chaos is all they know. Proverbs 18:6. A fool's lips walk into a fight, and his mouth invites a beating. Now, how many times have we seen someone that couldn't keep their mouth shut, and it got them into a situation that all they could do is just take a beating? You try to tell people it's not that serious, it's not worth it, but people have to talk. They don't know the power of the tongue. They need to read the book of James in the Bible. It talks about the power of the tongue. You can literally invite death in your life. Proverbs 29:9. If a wise man has an argument with a fool, the fool only rages and laughs, and there is no quiet. Now, wise men don't argue with fools because we know they don't use logic, they don't have understanding, and they reject wisdom. And we all know that when you hear somebody laughing, when you're very serious trying to help them, and they just laugh, it's time to walk away. Proverbs 28:26. Whoever trusts in his own mind is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom will be delivered. Now, trusting in your own mind outside of wisdom, if you think about children, children don't have experience. Their knowledge is very limited to actually having wisdom with their knowledge to have understanding about it. So they actually don't know until they experience and apply their knowledge to what it really produces. Proverbs 18:7. A fool's mouth is his ruin, and his lips are a snare to his soul. Of course, this goes back into you can talk yourself into a situation, or what they say, you can talk yourself into a check you can't cash, or something like that. Proverbs. Oh yeah, and your lips can also snare to your soul. You can actually what comes out your mouth has a lot to do with the condition of your heart, and the condition of your heart has a lot to do with your faith and who you really serve, whether it's God or Satan. Proverbs 10:23. Doing wrong is like a joke to a fool, but wisdom is pleasure to a man of understanding. Yeah, people think it's funny to do evil and to commit wickedness until they end up on their deathbed or they're in prison, and then it's not so funny. But the wise take pleasure in knowing that they're avoiding the chaos and the confusion of the world, and they have more to offer to actually help people rather than create the chaos. This was a long one, Proverbs 26:3-12. I'm going to read it quickly. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the back of fools. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest ye be like him yourself. Yes. When you're talking to fools, you're usually defending a lie. They're usually telling you something that isn't logical and that doesn't exist, and you're trying to explain that to someone who believes a lie or something that doesn't exist. It's just a waste of time. Answer a fool according to his folly. Let he be wise in his own eye. Yes, let him realize for himself the hard way that his ways are wrong. Because trust me, letting someone hit their own head is better than them hitting yours. Whoever sends a message by the hand of a fool cuts off his own feet and drinks violence. That speaks for itself. Like a lame man's legs, which hang useless, is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Proverbs 14:7-9. Leave the presence of a fool, for there you do not meet words of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to discern his way, but the folly of a fool is deceiving. Fools mock at the guilt offering, but the upright enjoy acceptance. Yeah, just avoid the presence of fools altogether. Um, they don't care. They don't care about your wise things, and wisdom is the only way to discern what's going on. Proverbs 23:9. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the good sense of your words. Yes, explaining right and wrong to a person who's clearly shown you that they reject right and wrong, or they hate the truth, you're just wasting your breath and your energy and your words. And the more time you spend around them, the more likely that their ignorance will cost you something. So I just wanted to bring this up. Peace out, y'all.